Well, as I record this, and I am clear and concise as to where I am going. I'm not talking about where I come from. I'm talking about where I'm going. I have brung this up before, and I will bring it up again. And I'm going to make it clear, because when I look around and I look over my life, I discovered, having been rejected by family, friends, others. You see, I discovered that in accordance with what some people may have thought, and even what some family members may have thought, I wasn't supposed to make it this far. You see, it's really something else when you find out, or should say discover, when you've been not just rejected, but when you've been disowned by your entire family, and not that you did anything to cause that to happen. No, you didn't do anything to cause it to happen. You see, these things came upon you simply because you're not like them. You know, I wasn't called to be like any one member of my family. Everybody is different. Everybody has different flaws. Everybody has different, ways that they perceive life. Everybody has something different, something to offer that's not in your context. Or I should say, not in, I'll put it in this way, it's not of you. But let me set the record straight. One time in my life, the Lord spoke a word unto me. And he said these words, and it was very clear. He said to me, he said, "You are the better man. You are the better man." I discovered why I faced all of the rejection. I discovered why I was disowned by even family members of my own. It's because I came out from among them. I wasn't ever a person who was persuaded by others to follow suit with others. I was not persuaded by peer pressure. It's a matter of truth. Whenever I saw peer pressure coming my way, even when I was young, I was like, bump this, I'm not trying to get with that just to get along with a few people. If I had to be by myself, I was content because I was not going to do something, to injure myself or injure my life just to be around some people who care nothing about me. And you know how that goes, right? If you don't join the brigade, you're cast out. You are not to even be regarded, but disregarded. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. You go ahead and join the crowd, right? You go ahead and join the crowd. You do what the crowd is doing, and all of a sudden, you reap what the crowd is reaping. And when you left alone by yourself, you have nobody but yourself to look at. Because you have some that'll come along and, they'll try to ease your pain because they know the pain you're going through. They help you go there. They help you get there. They know what you're going through. But here's the deal. When you by yourself with yourself and nobody there to help you, what do you think about? Because everything else at that point becomes a disappointment to you. But you want to know the truth? You put it on yourself. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to go there. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to do what you did. You already knew the significance of it. But for the sake of hanging out, or hanging out with some people, for the sake of being in some clique or whatever you want to call it, you figure, what the heck, this is worth it. When the truth be told, you discover over time this wasn't worth it at all. I have to live with this for the rest of my natural born life. Unreal, right? Unreal. You see, I'm not here to choke the spirit out of you, or tell you that it doesn't exist within you, or tell you that, guess what, you're a lost cause. Far from the truth. Nothing is a lost cause, even when it's dead. You see, because nothing dies for nothing. Nothing lives for nothing. Everything has a purpose. When the sun shines, it has a purpose. When the sun goes down, there's a purpose. When the moon is up in the sky at night, there is a purpose. If you're singing and dancing in the wind, there's a purpose. If you're drugging and acting crazy, there's a purpose. You don't get it. You see, I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to help you to see is that, whatever you do, you can blame no one except you. For every decision you make, you cannot say, I stepped off the curb and I tripped and it's the curb's fault. Or I really wanted to be with that crowd. That's why I did it. That's why I ran with them. That's what I did, the things they did and do whatever, because I just wanted to be with the crowd. Me and myself, I had nothing. But if I got with this crowd and that crowd, man, I'm all right now, I'm cool, I'm just running with the crowd. Let me tell you something. If I had to stand alone by my doggone self and be as healthy and as wealthy as I am today, so be it. But let me tell you something. If running with the crowd meant that I would lose my health, that I would lose my wealth, guess what? I ain't running with none of them. Because above my wealth, my health is the most important thing to me. Yep. And you know what? I don't care what comes or what goes, what happens. I don't care, you know, I don't care what happens, what comes, what goes, anything. Keep this in mind. I'm going to stand on the promises because I know that and I said this earlier, nothing happens without a purpose, right? Well, the purpose for me having my health, the purpose for me having some wealth, the purpose of these things is the realization that I am the better man. Now, let me help you understand what I'm trying to say. It ain't the things itself. It is the purpose for which I've been governed over these things. That's where the purpose comes in. But there's something greater than the purpose. Something greater than the purpose. See, when you don't fall for the rhetoric, when you're not persuaded by the crowd, when you're not persuaded by that particular clique, when you're not persuaded by those particular people, that particular friend, that particular husband, that particular wife, that particular significant other, then that's when you understand that now that you have purpose and you have things to operate within that purpose, when you are not easily persuaded, going to the left or the right and all of that, guess what? You begin to walk in authority. Today, I walk in authority. And guess what? I got more haters than anything else in the world. I once heard a preacher tell me, he said, man, if people don't naturally love you, you're not of Christ. I just thought, and I thought about that. I said, yeah, really? I said, well, it's awfully funny. Jesus had a lot of haters. As a matter of truth, not only did he have a lot of haters, a lot of people set him up to get killed. And get this, it was the people he chosen. What's my point? I don't care if I got haters. Let them hate. I don't care if I got, you know what, if people don't like me, forget it. Guess what? If they don't like me, bye-bye. Bye-bye. See ya. Because they can hate me, but you know what? I love them. Why? I love them because the Spirit of God dwells within them. And when they secretly hate me or tell me to my face that they hate me, guess what? I know that they're not acting in accordance with the Spirit of God. So what do I have to be mad about? Nothing. But for them to like me, I just have to do what they love to do. I have to live the way they love to live. They need to see things in me that are about the wonderful things that's going on up in their imagination. In other words, stroke their ego. I refuse to stroke a person's ego for them to like me. I refuse to stand up there and try to patter up to some other person's report, of what a man or a woman should be. And they don't know what the hell they want to be their own selves. They don't know. They seem to have no direction, but yet they have a whole lot of direction for your life. What do you need with that? A person who don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. And you're going to be persuaded by that. Foolishness, right? Foolishness. Because the person can't help you. Especially when you're in the dark. When you're deep in your hell, the person can't do nothing for you. Nothing. They can massage your stuff, but later on down the line, give it 5 minutes to a half hour, you're crying again. Something else happened. Something else is wrong. Something else is hurting. They can't help you. But see, there's one who can help you. If you call on him, he can help you. You see? See, that's the good part about the whole thing. No matter how you messed up, no matter how you fell into the clique, no matter how you fell into the issue you find yourself upon today, there is one that can help you. I know because I've seen him help others. There are people right now I know of right now whom I shake hands with practically on a daily basis who are delivered from drinking, delivered from drugs, delivered from fornication, delivered. And you know what? The people who used to love them when they were doing all that are actually hating them because they decided, I don't want to be in the game anymore. And let me tell you something. Let me help you understand something. If they don't outright tell you that they hate you, believe you and me, they secretly hate you. Because they're the first ones to run around and talk about it. Yeah, you know Susan? Yeah, man. Susan, yeah, man. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get a hold of her, man, because I'm trying to get a little something. Susan ain't doing it no more, yo. She ain't been doing it for a long time, shorty. You ain't going to get nothing out of her. Really? Really? Damn. See, that was my main buddy, man. Me and her used to hang together. We did this and we did that. Man, shoot, man, used to get a lot of stuff, right? Used to get this and used to get that. Used to do this, used to do that. But Susan is out of the game now. And the only thing you can say is that was my main buddy. But she's out of the game. She ain't your buddy anymore, right? You're real glad for the fact that she's out of the game, but yet where the part where you're not so glad is because Susie is not massaging your ego anymore. I tell you. But see, one day when Susie grows up, she might be able to come back and deliver you out. If Susie never forgets where she come from. Yeah. Because some people get delivered out and they forget where they come from. They get delivered out and all of a sudden they be like, yeah, And you already know because you the one standing around talking about, that now she out of the game and everything, man. She thinks she all that now. She thinks she everything, but you think she all that. She got this new man and got this and that and that and that. You know, now she thinks she all that now, and she out of the game and whatnot. Shorty was all of that. You know, shut up. That's just all that bigamy. That's all that crazy stuff talking. That's that I hate you because you got out the game talk. That's what that is. It ain't even about what the person has done, you know, as far as not coming, you know, at least not how should we say it? It's not about, you know, the person saying, well, I ain't trying to come back to even, you know, acknowledge anybody that was in the game with me and all that. It ain't even about that. For you, it's simply about one thing. Why the hell did they get out in the first place? I was benefiting from that. That's what it's about. And see people out here who drug and all that kind of stuff, they are professionals. They are professionals. You know what they are professionals at? They are professionals at making you believe that you actually have a friendship with them. They are professionals at making you believe that you're cool with them. They are professionals at making you believe that, you know, you cool, you this and all that. They'll talk to you normal, this and that. But see, they do all of that, but it's all about getting that dollar. It's all about getting that dollar. They're not your friend. They're not your buddy. They don't like you. They truthfully can't stand you. Really? Okay? Let it be known. Anybody who does drugs and drinking can't stand the drink, can't stand the drug. You know? They're married to something they can't even stand. It's just like husband and wife. Married to somebody you can't stand. I'm trying to help somebody. You know, but that's just the way it is. They can't stand popping a needle, you know, sticking that needle in their arm and popping that heroin. They can't even stand it. They don't even like her. They don't even like it. They don't like it. They just love what it does. They don't like it. They don't like the heroin itself. They don't like sticking a needle in their arm or leg or neck, vagina, wherever they stick it. They don't like sticking in there. They don't like doing all that. But what they do love is the euphoria. You know, being on another planet maybe. You know, that's what they love. They want to escape this life. They don't want no parts of this. They want to get out of this because this is too hard. This life has hit them with such blows and this and that they like, I don't want to stay around this. I really don't want to. I really want to disappear. You know? Like I said, you can't help them. And all this talk about, well, they got to help themselves. Let me tell you something. I know some people who do drugs, and let me tell you, almost died on more than one occasion. And the minute they have the use of their limbs, the use of their walking power, the use of eyesight, and the use of having the same mindset, believe me, they'll be back out there again. It's all in having the use of the various things that you used before to do what it is that you've done and continue to do. And that's it. See, it doesn't stop until some issues, some real core issues in their lives are resolved. That's when it stops. That's when it stops. I don't care how much you try to massage everything. I don't care how many times the drug clinics and the goddamn detox deals and all this stuff going on in Walter P. Carter, the Glass Project, and all this Hezekiah, whoever they are, doesn't matter. Let me help you. It doesn't stop until something is resolved within them. That's it. You can put all this other stuff on it as you want, if you want to. Something needs to be resolved. In other words, something there's stuff that was never resolved that needs to be resolved. And until it's resolved, I don't care what you put up there. I don't care how many days they sit up in detox. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. The only thing that truly matters is a person literally resolving some stuff that has just conjured up in them, and it was never resolved. When you have one too many unresolved matters, you have somebody wanting to, it's premeditated. It's premeditated because what's happening is the person don't want to lose their life. They just don't want to be a part of life. It's a difference, And the person is not saying I want to die. The person is simply saying I don't want to live, but I don't want to die. That's not a cliche. It's kind of a crazy way of putting it, but that's just the way it is. I don't want to die, but yet I don't want to live. Oxymoron? I don't know. But it's almost like I want to stay asleep for a while. That's pretty much what they're saying. I want to stay asleep for a while because I'm tired of this issue. I'm tired of this stuff stirring up in me and just, and all that. And I can't do nothing about it because I haven't resolved. I couldn't find a way of even resolving the issue, resolving the issues, because sometimes it's more than one. And some folk, there's probably one core one that's never been resolved. Something they never got over. But yet they want to sleep on it. For weeks, for months. But believe you and me, but when it's resolved, they'll find a way to get back to life again. They'll find the courage. Because right now they don't have any. They don't have the courage. I'm done. I'm done. The question I put before you today is, what would it take? See, because some people think something really bad has to happen to somebody for them to realize what they're doing messed up. Nah. That's something people say. That's something that has occurred because that's what's going around. But that's not necessarily the truth. You know why it's not the truth? Because struggle is bigger than you. There's not one soul living on the face of this planet that's bigger than struggle. You let me know anybody who's living today who is bigger than struggle. I want to meet them. Shoot, I'll run with them every day. But here's the deal. Your struggles are bigger than you. You're not bigger than them. Admit that to yourself, and then you'll be on your way to dealing with them core issues. Because otherwise you have to play slick. You have to play it slick. You have to, you have to do, as I've preached earlier, talked about it. I said, surely you have to, everything on your exterior, everything in your exterior has to look wonderful. Everything. You can't leave nothing to chance. Nothing. But see, when you are content, you don't worry about it. Although you do, clean up some stuff around. I mean, I know a lot of people. They're professionals. They're not drugging, they're not drinking, and all that. If they drink, they do it occasionally. But their clothes bin is so messed up, it's a shame. Their living room doesn't look the best. And let me tell you something, their bathroom doesn't look the best. And surely they come out clean every day. They come outside, they clean and all this. And sometimes, they, they get a little spot on something or something, whatever, while they out and about. But guess what? Because of word of mouth, people do not look at the mistakes. The fact that I come into your living room and I see your living room is pretty much a mess. They overlook that and they look right at the person and say, it's not even, it's not saying it's about that living room. That's not what they're saying. They're not even saying it's not even about that. They're looking at the person. So think about it. If you're looking at the person, you're looking at the person, you see very clearly what you're dealing with the person. You can look beyond everything else. Look beyond the faults and see the need. Let me say that one more time. Look beyond the faults and see the need. How many of us can do that? How many of us can look beyond the faults of people and see the need? See, many of us are accustomed to looking at the faults of people and condemning those faults. That's not of God. God simply says, look beyond the faults and see the need. But you got too many people who try to clean up those faults. Unreal? You got too many people who are trying to clean up those faults. I think I'm saying something right there. People who are trying to clean up their faults. You know why? Because they just, you know what you just figured out? If they're always trying to clean up their faults, that acknowledges that they have faults. That acknowledges that they actually have faults. That they're not trying to clean up. Let me put this in perspective real quick. When, because things could become a lure. Because you have a lot of people who are not trying to clean up their inner faults. Just the exterior ones. And what I caught about that was, if you're always trying to clean up the exterior faults and not deal with the inner stuff, then you are creating a lure for somebody but for what reason? That's pretty interesting. If you have faults that you're not even trying to clear up, in other words, you're not working day to day to clear them up. If anything, they just get worse. Huh. Ain't this something? Let me see something.